Welcome to Hero Villains. What do you think? Predator versus Blade? When two of the most terrifying predators from two different worlds face off. Two beings who have spent their entire lives fighting monsters and other predators. On one side is the Shadow Assassin, a half-human, half-vampire who possesses all the powers of the blood-sucking species without their deadly weaknesses. A warrior who has spent his entire life hunting those who took his mother from him. A man who once faced Dracula and emerged victorious, wielding holy weapons and possessing master-level martial arts skills. Eric Brooks, the Blade. On the other side is the ultimate predator of the cinematic and comic book universes. A creature from the planet Yautja Prime who possesses the most advanced hunting technology in the galaxy. A warrior who hunts the most dangerous creatures in the universe as a rite of passage. One who has taken down even the most elite warriors on Earth. The Predator. When the Vampire Slayer faces the Alien Hunter. When holy weapons clash with plasma technology. Who will be the last one standing? Let's find out.
First is Predator, the Yautja Hunter warrior. Predator, also known as Yautja in his species' native language, belongs to an ancient hunting civilization that has existed in the universe for millions of years. The Yautja come from a harsh planet where survival is determined by strength and hunting ability. Since the dawn of their civilization, the Yautja have built their entire society around the hunting ritual, where an individual's worth is measured by the number and quality of prey he has defeated. Predator does not hunt to eat, nor does he hunt to survive. He hunts to prove himself, to establish his position within the social hierarchy, and to honor the traditions of his ancestors. Over millions of years, the Yautja have developed extraordinary physical abilities while also creating some of the most advanced hunting weapons and equipment in the universe. Every young predator must undergo a rite of passage, where he is sent to an unfamiliar planet with only basic weapons and must hunt worthy prey to earn recognition as a true warrior. The most experienced predators, known as elders, are those who have survived hundreds of hunts, accumulating vast collections of trophies and years of combat experience. Predator possesses strength far beyond that of a human. His body is made up of dense muscle fibers, allowing him to lift more than a ton, tear metal apart with his bare hands, and deliver punches powerful enough to shatter concrete. The average predator stands around 7 feet 2 inches tall, with a sturdy skeletal structure and a muscular system optimized for hunting and combat. His skin is thick and tough, capable of withstanding cuts and impacts that an ordinary human would not survive. Predator's blood is fluorescent green and contains cells capable of clotting extremely quickly, allowing him to continue fighting even after suffering severe injuries. Predator's senses are among his most terrifying weapons. His vision system can switch between multiple modes, from thermal vision that allows him to detect living creatures through infrared radiation, to electromagnetic vision that can see through certain materials, and ultraviolet vision for tracking blood trails. Combined with his highly sensitive sense of smell, which can detect prey from several kilometers away, Predator is nearly impossible to hide from. He also possesses extremely acute hearing, allowing him to hear the heartbeat and breathing of his prey from a considerable distance, making any attempt at a surprise approach virtually meaningless. However, Predator's true power lies in the weapons and technology he carries. Predator's combat mask is not merely protective equipment, but also an information processing hub equipped with an automatic targeting system, environmental analysis, and trophy recording functions. The shoulder-mounted plasma caster is his primary long-range weapon, capable of firing concentrated plasma energy powerful enough to pierce armored vehicles and destroy fortified structures. Its signature 3 red dot targeting system allows Predator to lock onto targets with near absolute accuracy, even when his prey is moving at high speed. Wrist blades. 2 retractable blades mounted on his wrists are Predator's signature close quarters weapon. Forged from an extraterrestrial alloy far harder than any metal on Earth, these blades can cut through steel as easily as slicing through butter. The combi stick, a spear that can extend and retract, is a versatile weapon used for both close combat and long-range attacks. The smart disc, a razor-sharp disc equipped with an automatic guidance system can follow complex trajectories to eliminate multiple targets at once. The net gun fires metal nets that can constrict around their targets, trapping prey while the wires gradually cut into their flesh. And finally, the cloaking device, a light-bending stealth system that allows Predator to become nearly invisible in any environment, turning him into a true ghost on the battlefield. Predator also possesses a wrist-mounted self-destruct device with a destructive force comparable to that of a tactical nuclear bomb. This device is activated when Predator faces inevitable defeat, ensuring that no enemy can capture him alive and exploit Yautja technology. This is a testament to the honor and pride of the Predator species. They would rather destroy themselves than allow their trophies to fall into the hands of others. Predator has faced some of humanity's most elite warriors, from special forces, soldiers equipped with modern weapons, to tribal warriors armed with spears and shields. During his confrontation with the Special Forces team led by Dutch Schaefer, Predator easily eliminated the members one by one, using his cloaking system and guerrilla tactics to turn the jungle into a deadly maze. Only after Dutch discovered the weakness of Predator's thermal vision and used mud to conceal his body heat was he able to create an opportunity to counterattack. However, even after suffering severe injuries and losing most of his weapons, Predator continued fighting until his final breath, activating his self-destruct device rather than surrendering. In his encounters with the Xenomorphs, the eternal enemies of the Yautja civilization, Predator demonstrated his superiority in both tactics and technology. Xenomorphs are biologically perfect creatures, with acid for blood, a second set of jaws capable of piercing metal, and a terrifying parasitic reproductive process. Yet, Predator has turned hunting Xenomorphs into the ultimate rite of passage, facing entire swarms of hundreds of Xenomorphs with nothing but close combat weapons and extraordinary courage. The battles between Predator and the Xenomorph Queen, the queen of the parasitic species, are among the most spectacular confrontations, pushing Predator's physical strength and tactical intelligence to their absolute limits. Predator has also faced other alien warriors, beings who likewise possess advanced strength and technology. In every confrontation, Predator has demonstrated an astonishing ability to adapt, quickly analyzing his enemy's fighting style and identifying weaknesses to exploit. However, Predator is not without weaknesses. His greatest weakness lies in his own honor and hunting code. Predator does not kill those who are incapable of defending themselves, does not attack pregnant women or children, and does not use long-range weapons when facing a worthy warrior in single combat. This code, while noble, creates opportunities for his enemies to exploit. If an enemy knows how to pretend to be weak or manipulate Predator's pride to lure him into a trap, they can gain an unexpected advantage.
I sincerely hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us tremendously, and you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Now, let's move on to Blade, the Daywalker. Blade, or Eric Brooks, is one of the most complex characters. Born in 1,929 inches, London, England, Eric Brooks carried a cruel destiny from the very first moment of his life. His mother, Tara Brooks, was bitten by a vampire named Deacon Frost while she was in labor, and the vampire venom was transferred into the body of the unborn child. As a result, Eric was born with all the powers of a vampire, but none of their weaknesses. He is not burned by sunlight, harmed by garlic or crosses, and does not need to drink blood to survive. He is the Daywalker, a unique being in history, one who stands between the two worlds of the living and the dead. Eric Brooks' childhood was a life of loneliness and fear. His mother died shortly after giving birth, and he grew up in an orphanage where his differences caused him to be rejected by both humans and vampires. Vampires saw him as an abomination, a mistake of nature that needed to be erased. Humans, if they discovered his true nature, would also fear and hate him. It was not until he met Jamal Afari, a seasoned vampire hunter, that Eric finally found a purpose in life. Afari taught him everything about the world of darkness, from how to identify vampires and forge silver weapons to close combat techniques. Under Afari's training, Eric Brooks became Blade, the most feared vampire hunter in history. Blade's power is the perfect combination of a vampire's supernatural abilities and a human's elite combat skills. Physically, Blade possesses strength comparable to that of an ancient vampire, allowing him to lift more than 10 tons, leap dozens of meters, and deliver punches powerful enough to break through concrete walls. His speed far surpasses that of a human, allowing him to move so quickly that the naked eye can see only a blur. His reflexes are equally superhuman, enabling him to dodge bullets fired from close range and react to attacks faster than the speed of sound. Blade's healing ability is one of his most terrifying traits. He can recover from injuries that would kill an ordinary person, from deep cuts to bullets that have pierced through his internal organs. This healing speed allows him to keep fighting even when severely wounded, turning him into a nearly unstoppable fighting machine. However, this healing ability is not limitless, and injuries that are too severe, such as decapitation or being completely burned, can still kill him. Blade's senses are also extremely supernatural. His vision allows him to see clearly in complete darkness, detect the slightest movements, and even see traces of energy left behind by a vampire. His hearing and sense of smell are so sharp that he can hear a heartbeat from a great distance and detect the scent of blood from hundreds of meters away. Combined with hunting instincts honed over decades, once you are in Blade's sights, it is nearly impossible to ambush him or escape. Blade is also a master when it comes to a diverse and specialized arsenal. His katana, forged from pure silver, is his most iconic weapon, capable of cutting through vampire bodies and preventing their ability to heal. In addition, he uses a wide range of long-range weapons, from pistols loaded with silver and ultraviolet ammunition to crossbows firing wooden bolts coated with garlic, as well as grenades containing vaporized silver gas. Daggers, throwing stars, and other thrown weapons are also part of Blade's arsenal, allowing him to adapt to any combat situation. Blade also possesses exceptional tactical intelligence. He is not merely a warrior, but also a researcher who has spent many years studying vampire biology, alchemy, and dark magic. He understands the weaknesses of every type of vampire, from newly transformed vampires to ancient lords thousands of years old. He knows how to create specialized weapons for each type of enemy and always has a backup plan for every situation. Among Blade's battles with his enemies, the greatest and most iconic was his confrontation with Deacon Frost, the vampire who bit his mother and indirectly created the Daywalker. Frost was not merely an ordinary vampire, but an ambitious one who sought to use a blood ritual to become a godlike being and replace even Dracula within the vampire hierarchy. Blade faced Frost many times throughout his career, and every encounter was a life or death battle that pushed both of them to their limits. In the final battle, Blade used every skill, every weapon, and all the knowledge he had accumulated to defeat Frost, avenge his mother, and protect humanity from a terrifying threat. Blade also faced Dracula, the Lord of the Vampires. Dracula is an immortal being who has existed for thousands of years, possessing magical powers and terrifying shape-shifting abilities. He can transform into mist, a bat, or a wolf, and possesses physical strength far beyond Blade's. However, Blade proved that intelligence and careful preparation could compensate for the gap in raw power. He used his knowledge of ancient magic, combined with silver weapons and ultraviolet technology, to create traps capable of neutralizing Dracula's shape-shifting abilities and forcing him into direct combat. Blade also faced Morbius, the living vampire, a being who is not entirely a vampire but possesses similar abilities. The battle between Blade and Morbius was particularly complicated because Morbius was not purely evil, but rather a scientist who was transformed by an accident. Blade was forced to confront the moral question of whether he should destroy someone who was not entirely responsible for his own nature. Blade has fought alongside other heroes such as Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, and the members of the Midnight Suns to combat supernatural threats on a cosmic scale. He has faced ancient magical entities, demons from other dimensions, and dark forces that threaten the existence of all things. Blade has also faced enemies from within the vampire community, including traitors and factions that sought to use him as a weapon. He has battled the vampire Lords of the Dark Council, who wanted to capture him and use his Daywalker blood to enhance their own power. In these battles, Blade has faced dozens of vampires at once, using every skill and weapon at his disposal to survive. However, Blade is not without weaknesses. His greatest weakness lies in his half-human, half-vampire nature. Although he is immune to to most of the traditional weaknesses of vampires, Blade still has to contend with a constant thirst for blood, a primal instinct that continually urges him to seek fresh blood. He developed a special serum to control this thirst, but if his supply of the serum is interrupted, his vampiric instincts can resurface and cause him to lose control. In addition, despite possessing an extraordinary healing ability, Blade is still a finite being. He can become exhausted if he fights for too long without time to recover, and sufficiently severe injuries can still kill him. Blade also carries the loneliness and pain of someone who belongs to neither world. He is not completely human, nor is he completely a vampire, and this sense of alienation can sometimes affect his mental state in combat. And now, let's move on to a direct comparison and combat analysis. This is a battle between two predators, a test of strength, speed, skill, and technology. Both are formidable warriors. When it comes to pure physical strength, Predator has a clear advantage. He is larger, heavier, and possesses greater muscular strength than Blade. A single punch from Predator can generate several times more impact force than Blade, and his sturdy skeletal structure allows him to withstand attacks that Blade's body would have a much harder time enduring. Both Blade and Predator possess strength and speed far beyond those of ordinary humans. However, there are some subtle differences. Predator is likely stronger in terms of raw power and durability, with an incredible ability to withstand massive amounts of damage. But Blade has the advantage in speed, agility, and reflexes. He can move more fluidly and evade attacks more effectively. Predator has a clear advantage when it comes to long-range technology. His plasma caster can take Blade down from a distance with devastating firepower. His cloaking system also makes him extremely dangerous when it comes to ambush attacks. However, Blade's weapons have advantages of their own. His samurai sword can cut through steel, and his silver weapons, although designed for vampires, can still inflict severe wounds on any living creature. Most importantly, Blade is a master of close quarters combat, and he will look for a way to close the distance and neutralize Predator's long-range advantage. Predator relies on thermal vision and technological sensors to detect his prey. However, Blade possesses the supernatural senses of a vampire. He can hear Predator's heartbeat, smell his presence, and sense him even while he is cloaked. Predator's cloaking advantage can be countered by Blade's supernatural hearing and sense of smell. Conversely, Predator's thermal vision would detect Blade very clearly, since the body of a Dhampir would certainly have a distinct heat signature. If both are injured during the battle, Blade has a much greater ability to recover. His wounds will heal, while Predator will have to endure accumulating injuries. This means that in a prolonged battle, Blade will have the advantage in overall endurance. Experience. Both are formidable warriors, but their fighting styles are very different. Predator is a hunter. He prefers to ambush and attack from a distance before closing in. Blade is a fighter. He is a master of close quarters combat. He has spent more than a century fighting vampires, creatures with speed and strength comparable to Predator. His experience dealing with supernatural predators is invaluable. He will not be easily ambushed or overwhelmed. Combat. The battle will begin with Predator observing Blade from a distance. He will realize that this prey is not an ordinary human and will approach cautiously. He will activate his cloaking system and attempt to take Blade down with the plasma caster from a safe position. But Blade, with his supernatural senses, will sense Predator's presence from the very beginning. He will hear the faint sound of footsteps, smell the scent of an alien creature, and sense the danger. When Predator fires the plasma caster, Blade will evade the attack with his speed and reflexes. He will quickly determine Predator's location using his hearing and sense of smell and charge toward him. Predator, realizing that his prey has detected him, will switch to close combat, using his dual blades. A hand-to-hand battle between two predators will begin. Blade will use his samurai sword to attack Predator. The razor-sharp blade can cut through his armor and inflict deep wounds. But Predator is highly agile, and he will use his dual blades to block the attacks and counterattack. The two will exchange deadly blows. Predator will rely on his raw strength and durability to withstand Blade's attacks and overpower him. Blade will rely on his speed, agility, and superior swordsmanship to evade attacks and strike at weak points. The battle will continue for a long time and become incredibly brutal. Blade will be wounded, but his healing ability will allow him to keep fighting. Predator will also be injured, but his durability will allow him to endure. However, the difference in their healing abilities will gradually become clear. Blade will continue to recover, while Predator will become increasingly weakened. The decisive moment will come when Blade finds an opening in Predator's defenses. He will unleash a deadly attack, cutting through the armor and inflicting a severe wound. Predator will roar in pain, and Blade will seize the opportunity to finish him. He will use his sword to sever one of Predator's arms, disabling his dual blades, and then drive his sword through his throat. Predator will collapse, and Blade will stand over his fallen body, one Predator having defeated another Predator. This will be a hard-fought but well-deserved victory for Blade.
And that is our analysis of the battle between the Shadow Assassin and the Ultimate Predator. This is one of the most intense and unpredictable matchups, where two of the greatest predators from two different worlds were forced to unleash all of their strength and skills. Let us know what you think by leaving a comment below. Are you siding with the Shadow Assassin or the Ultimate Predator of the universe? If you enjoy epic battles between elite predators, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming battles. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much.